Let's take the worries out of shopping. Come on inside. I'll show you everything you need to know. So you're navigating alpha-gal syndrome, and let's be real, the grocery store can feel like a total minefield. But it really doesn't have to be. Today, we're going to walk through how to shop with confidence, focusing on super simple, safe swaps for the foods you already love. Let's get right into it. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the biggest hurdle, those hidden ingredients. Then we'll take a trip down the snack and candy aisle. After that, we'll hit the main course, and then figure out dairy and other pantry staples. And to wrap it all up, I'll give you a simple guide to take with you. Okay, so first things first. The real challenge with alpha-gal isn't just, not eating a steak. It's all about the mammal-derived ingredients that are hiding in plain sight in so many everyday foods. And that's exactly the problem we're here to solve today. And this brings us to a really crucial mindset shift. This is not about restriction. Seriously, it's about empowerment. We're here to arm you with the knowledge of all the amazing and safe options that are out there waiting for you. All right, next up, let's venture into what can be one of the trickiest aisles, snacks and sweets. This is where those hidden ingredients love to hang out. But don't worry, there are plenty of delicious, safe choices once you know exactly what to look for. So, you're probably thinking, okay, does this mean I have to say goodbye to all my favorite treats? Well, you might actually be surprised. Let's look at some super easy swaps that can make your life just a little bit sweeter. And check this out, the big brands are totally catching on. For a classic like Reese's, you can now find a plant-based version right there on the shelf. It's such a simple, direct swap that makes a huge difference. And you know what's even better? Sometimes you don't even need a swap. Some super popular candies, like Sour Patch Kids, are already vegan by default. That makes them a go-to safe treat without any extra work. How great is that? Okay, here's a critical pro tip for the sweets aisle, and this one's a little sneaky. Bone char. It's basically an animal-derived filter used to make some sugars super white. You will not see this on the label, which is why it's such an important hidden ingredient to know about. So how do you avoid it? It's pretty simple, actually. Just look for sugars that are specifically labeled as cane raw sugar, or even easier, any sugar that's certified vegan. It's a quick switch that just takes all the guesswork out of it. Now, when it comes to savory stuff like chips, a really good rule of thumb is that simpler is safer. Plain, salted potato chips usually are good to go. But the second you get into those complex flavors like Cool Ranch or cheddar, you're way more likely to run into some mammal-derived ingredients. But you know the golden rule. Always, always read that label. Okay, let's move on to the main course. This part is all about swapping out proteins like beef and pork with easy, accessible, and totally safe alternatives. Get ready because turkey is about to become your new best friend. Seriously. For burgers, you can use ground turkey. For bacon, sausage, even pepperoni, turkey-based versions are fantastic, and they're everywhere. And of course, the plant-based options for things like ground meat are getting better all the time. Now, for a very specific heads up, those convenient frozen meals like Popeyes, they can be a total minefield. A brand like Banquet, for example, often uses lard in its crust. And since lard is just rendered pork fat, that makes it a definite no-go. So while a brand like Marie Callender's might be an alternative, this brings up a really important point. A lot of people with alpha-gal are also sensitive to dairy. So even if a product doesn't have mammal meat, you still have to check for your own specific triggers like milk. You got to be your own food detective. And that leads us perfectly into our next section, dairy and other pantry staples. This is where reading labels and really understanding your options becomes absolutely essential for everything from your morning coffee to your pasta dinner. So the most obvious swap here is milk itself, right? For those who react to dairy, the market is just packed with great alternatives now. Brands like Silk have amazing almond milk, oat milk, soy milk. They're all safe and super easy to find. But here's another expert tip for you. Some people with alpha-gal also react to an additive called carrageenan. It's often used as a thickener in some non-dairy milks. So if you find you're still having issues, check the label on your plant-based milk for it and just find a brand that's carrageenan-free. And the swaps just keep on coming. For butter, look for plant-based spreads like Earth Balance. For mac and cheese, wow, the vegan options are exploding right now. When you're grabbing spaghetti sauce, try to find a no sugar added version to avoid that whole bone char issue. And hey, for a quick lunch, pre-made salads can be awesome, as long as you can tolerate any cheese or dairy-based dressing they might have. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground. So now let's bring it all together. into a simple, memorable guide you can basically take with you on every single trip to the store. Think of this as your shopping cheat sheet. Rule 1: turkey is your go to for beef and pork. 2: the words plant based and vegan are your best friends. They do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. 3: remember, plain is almost always safer than flavored. 4: always, and I mean always, read the full ingredient list for things like lard. And finally, number 5: keep those invisible culprits like bone char on your radar. You see, with the right knowledge, your food world doesn't actually shrink, it just changes. It becomes this cool journey of discovering new and safe things to eat. It's all about empowerment, not about what you've had to give up. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What's the one swap you're most excited to try? Is it the plant-based Reese's, the turkey bacon? Finding that one simple change can honestly make all the difference. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy shopping. Join me next time for more tips on how to live with alpha-gal syndrome.